Priyanka, first I have to tell you that your success makes me ridiculously happy. Okay. So I was thinking this morning, like, why does it make me so happy? Okay, because you were a big star even before Quantico. It's not like you need validation from the West necessarily. Of course, this is another level of world domination. Let's accept that. But I think what's really amazing is how you've totally subverted the kind of Hindi film rule that women in their 30s are like past the prime. Your success has actually, in a sense, shifted the goalpost for success.
I was just being an actor, doing my job. Literally, I thought of it as just an extension of myself creatively. I did not think the show would explode the way it did. I didn't think that I would get the kind of response I have in America and around the world because of the show. And somehow a response to me, not just my character.
Yeah, it's to you.
Yeah, to me as a person and as an artist. I'm just so grateful that it's broken so many different barriers and stereotypes on so many levels. Because that was my aim to do from the time I did Aetras. I've always tried to push the envelope a little bit. Especially when I started in the movies in early 2000s. The girls were always, the pretty, which is amazing as well. I love doing it. I love my sari blowing in the wind and I love, the boys serenading me. I love all of that. But it was just limited to that. When I was told at a very young age, about 19 or 20, that, लड़कियां तो interchangeable होती हैं फिल्मों में. अगर दूसरी हीरोइन नहीं मिली तो नई लड़की लॉन्च कर लेंगे, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? I think subconsciously it really struck me in my head. And looking back retrospectively, I made my career what it is because I had something telling me that I will not be replaceable. I don't want to be replaceable. So it feels incredible that, not just as a woman, but as an Indian actor. Indian actors who, now that I've worked abroad, I've realized that Indian films are really not looked at with as much respect as they should.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, what? It's just kitschy.
They're like spoofs of Hollywood. Or like,
Anurag,
break out of song and dance.
Yeah. Anurag told me it's seen as the variety entertainment of global cinema.
Yes, it is. It's that. And I didn't realize that. Like when Mr. Bachchan, Shabana ma'am, everybody was talking about how they hate the term Bollywood. I didn't get why. After working there, I hate it too. I've denounced it.
Really?
I'm not saying it anymore. Because we're not a Me Too of Hollywood. We're an extremely prolific film industry. And I know as Indian talent, when I was doing music there, every part that came to me while I was in India, you know how it is. Indian actors get foreign films all the time. We get approached for them. I did at least for the last 4 or 5 years. But everything was the exotic princess or the beautiful girl, standing behind a guy. And I've always wanted to be more than that. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with standing behind a guy, but to at least have quality within that. So when I spoke to ABC as well, and they came to me to doing this deal where they said that they believed that I was probably one of the few Indian actors they'd seen that would not be too alien for America, but yet be like interesting enough to be able to not cross over, but to be able to appeal to a mass audience. And the only thing I told them was that I'm not going to do, oh, here's my big fat Punjabi wedding, or here is Let's Dance Bollywood.
The obvious stuff.
Why should we just be that? I said, I want to be cast for merit, one. Second, my ethnicity should be just because it is.
Right, it's not a thing.
It's not the reason why I am what I am. And kudos to them. They found me shows like they found me, every script that they gave me, 26 of them, had nothing to do with my ethnicity. Alex was not even written for an Indian girl. And on top of that, I told them that I'm really sorry, but I'm used to playing leads. Even if I play a supporting part, it has to be something that is going to, is one of the most integral parts of the show. Otherwise, I have an amazing career. I'm not looking at doing anything different. And, they understood that. Like I recently in a joke, when somebody asked me, oh, there are rumors about you becoming the next Bond girl, I said, please forget Bond girl, I want to be Bond.
I saw that, yeah.
It was an interview at 11 o'clock at night and I was being my
like this
sassy, like this one. I was being my sassy self. Sass comes out at night for me.
So if we keep going in about another hour, you're just keeping on a roll.
I'll be amazingly sassy.
But tell me, how do you become such a huge success on social media? I mean, your armpits get talked about?
Listen, my armpits were on CNN in America. It was so funny. People magazine, TM, I mean, India to chalo khair, I'm Priyanka Chopra from India. So chalo, they'll write. Because I belong to them. But I was amazed that the news was carrying it. And this was while I was in Paris. Me and my publicist Dana, we were sitting and saying, oh my god, they're carrying this picture everywhere. And everyone was freaking out. And the whole team was like, it's becoming such a big deal. I was like, kitna Photoshop kiya unhone? So I showed them my real armpits. I was like, see it. Gee, I hate the word also. I'm feeling shy saying it. I was like, see it. So she was like, true. So I was like, you know what? Let's end this. Let's just do a picture. Show what they really look like and then compare it.
You know, actors are now being asked, like Kareena was asked,
Right.
you know, don't you want to do what Priyanka? So it's become like a thing now. Do you look back and say like, wow, what just went down here? Or do you have do you pinch yourself?
No, actually, I worked very hard.
Yeah, this hasn't come easy, no.
It's not, you can't just go to America, sign a movie and become a Hollywood star. And I'm not saying I am. I'm not even talking about my film, Baywatch, right now. Because it's not released. That's not even in the debate of my achievements. My achievements are because I worked 16-hour days for 5 days a week, and on the weekends I used to come back to India and shoot Jai Gangajal and Bajirao Mastani and go back for Monday morning shoot. That's the only way I have worked, even in India. So I don't know what to do if I have 2 days off. I just love what I do and I'm good at it. And I love the ability to wake up in the morning and say, oh my God, I get to go to work. I mean, how many people in their lifetimes do a job that they love doing? Most people do it for survival. Kicha, we need to feed our families, we need to survive, it's our career, okay, we have to do it. But to wake up with, you know, my feet and my fingers tingling and say, wow, I have this to do, I have that to do today. And it's an amazing feeling and I don't take it for granted. Yes, it's a lot that's happened very fast. I mean, whether it was the Time cover, whether it was, you know, the Oscars or the correspondence dinners or at least the 7 covers that I've been on recently, only in the US. I'm not even talking India. All that is just about 1 or 2% of what talent, good talent, deserves on global entertainment.
But Priyanka, tell me, you brought up Time, you know, Dwayne Johnson.
That I pinched myself on.
Did you not?
I did.
I figured.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I was like,
Itna
what?
bhi waze nahi aap.
No. That I did. I was like, wait, what? When my publicist, I remember, emailed me, she says, you're going to be in the list, you're being considered in the, because the voting and stuff was going on, in the 100 most influential people. I was like, wow, I'm being considered. That in itself was the achievement for me. That I'm in consideration with this lot of people. Then to be a part of the list. Then to be on the cover of the magazine, not just in Asia, but in the US as well. I mean, and then to have my Padma Shri within 10 days.
Yeah, that's right, Padma Shri Priyanka Chopra.
Yeah, that 1 week was like a real big pinch me moment.
But tell me, there's all this stuff, right? There is, of course, the sweat. I mean, you talked about your days, about, you know, flying here for a weekend. But what is the sacrifice you make to achieve this?
Sacrifice your life.
Really?
Yeah, your life is your work. Completely. I get to meet my friends in Bombay only for the 20 days that I might come here now, for this year at least. My family, yes, I can fly them down. To be in a completely new country, get to know new people, you know, reintroduce yourself and see if these are friends for life or not. It's not just the fact that that's all I do, but it's such a solitary thing to do. You know, when my grandmother passed away this year, I was so afraid because, not that she was ill or anything, but you know, she was 94, 95. I was so afraid while I was shooting season 1 that something would happen while I would be away. And I was very close to my grandmom. She raised me till I was about 8, 9. I was so scared that I wouldn't be able to come for her funeral. And I arrived, we celebrated her 94th birthday, and 4 days later she passed. It was almost like she was waiting for me. So for me, and I can only talk about my journey, it is very solitary. Sometimes the noise is, the sound of silence is too quiet.
So even now, Priyanka, there's no sense of entitlement?
No, I don't feel.
Thoda sa star, you don't feel?
No, I have a sense of pride, definitely. Because somehow with re-acknowledgement of the fact that I have consistently done good work. So because of which I have a sense of self and a sense of pride. I'm unapologetic about who I am, where I've come from or what I've done at all. I can stand on any global stage, talk to heads of states or talk to, film actors or prolific directors, or I can make conversation because I know my job. I may not have been able to do that 6 years ago because it took me a while to find my own. But yeah, I don't take it for granted. I was very fascinated with show business when I joined the movies, and I found so many sad stories of people who, after they've become superstars or they realize that they are superstars, the downfall, it's gonna happen to everyone. Everyone. I knew that before I started my first film. So I'm not afraid of it. I just know that I'll have a plan B when that happens. Creativity can be morphed into so many things. Today I write, I sing, I write columns. I've written for Elle, New York Times, Hindustan Times. I act in movies. I'm producing films. There is a gazillion things you can do as a creative person. So I'm prepared for that. So yeah, but I do believe you can't ever sit down on your hands and say, all right, now I'm a star. That doesn't happen to anyone, and people don't forgive that because they've put you there.
And you never let yourself sort of have a slightly arrogant moment?
No, arrogant I can get sometimes.
What do you do?
I think I'm self-assured. People call it arrogance. So I don't know. Sometimes when I have my sarky quibs, when that happens to me usually at press conferences where people are trying to, instigate me. So then they say, oh, she's arrogant. But it's not. I'm self-assured to a certain point.
So I read this column where, I can't remember the exact words, but they were talking about the fact that you were on the cover of Time. And they said, it's amazing how far a great publicist can take a mediocre actor and how deeply, even mainstream journalism can fall for it. Do you ever respond to stuff like that? I don't mean literally, but does something in you kind of react to it?
No, yeah, it made me feel great. If my mediocrity could come to Time magazine, then, no wonder it hasn't happened to anyone else before me. Arrogance? Or self-assuredness? You pick.
So Priyanka, we get a sense of this fabulous life that you are leading on all your social media platforms. Okay, there's of course, as you mentioned, the Oscars, the dinner with Obamas, the jet setting, all these pictures of you on flight. Then there is, this ridiculous amount of shoe choices you have.
Yeah, that I do. That's
like,
a lot of shoes, huh?
It's a lot of shoes.
Oh, ये तो कम है. ये Oscar की fitting हो रही थी, I think. I remember.
और ये मतलब fraction है.
Yeah.
हाँ, इससे closet थोड़ा और बड़ा होगा.
Yeah. No, when outfits, see, I don't understand outfits very much. I choose outfits the way I choose my films. What my mood is on that day and how I feel, what I feel good in. Because if I commit myself to it and I'm bored the next morning, then I don't feel like wearing it. And if I don't feel like wearing it, I always end up looking terrible on the red carpet. Because you have to have confidence to be able to carry off something. So, hence that many options.
Not to mention the passport.
Oh yeah, ये तो आधी है.
इससे और बढ़ गई?
I have 9.
No way.
These are only 4 or 5 because I have valid visas on them. So I have to carry all of them together.
I interviewed, we think of the West, Priyanka, as more educated, more evolved, more egalitarian. But I interviewed last week Melissa McCarthy and Paul Feig on Ghostbusters, okay,
Right.
which has become...
I'm so psyched about that. Can I
Me
please tell
too!
you?
Me too! I'm dying to
I
see
cannot
it.
wait.
Yeah.
They better get it right.
Listen.
Otherwise, no female will ever be able to do a male protagonist film again. It's just so cool that Ghostbusters is being made with a woman.
Exactly. But Priyanka, they've got, like, Paul was talking about the levels of sort of trolling, misogyny, the kind of
100%.
hate that's come their way.
100%.
So is it not that different?
No, it is not. Entertainment is not different at all. First of all, I do not know why we always come from a place of second. We absolutely shouldn't. America has never been the end all and the beginning all of entertainment. It's just one of the biggest industries because they speak in English. And yes, they make amazing. Their way of storytelling is different. Our way of storytelling is different. There's no comparison.
No, but in terms of gender parity, they're not so much ahead of us. I mean, I was so shocked at this thing.
Look at the kind of debates happening with the presidential campaigns right now. We had a prime minister who was a woman way before. Look at the kind of, like when I made this James Bond comment, how much of trolling I got. That there can never be a woman as James Bond. He is James Bond. How can you kill the sanctity of that? I actually think it'll be quite cool.
It would be.
Whether or not I do it, any girl does it. And her name should be James. It shouldn't be Jane. But I think the world has come to that place because the fight for feminism has got a lot of voices now, but yet we live in a world of misogyny. It is not India only, but it's a global issue. It happens all over the world because for eons women have been told they're second-class citizens, and now suddenly, what are we asking for? Feminism has got such a bad name now, the term, because people think feminism is berating men or hating on men, which it's not. Women are only saying, give us the joy or the ability to make our own decisions without being judged with the freedom that men have all these years. That's it. But it'll be a big war. Two things feminism needs. One, women to encourage each other. Instead of pulling each other down, we need to prop each other up. Girl love is very important. And second, feminism needs men to stand up and say that this is the right decision. And hopefully, we are walking towards that. It's not going to happen instantly. It won't even happen in the next 10 years. But the debate has become strong. The conversations have become strong. We are seeing Ghostbusters with 3 women today. When I did fashion, people laughed at me. People told me, "Koi nahi dekhne jayegi aapki film." Hindi actresses तब करती हैं when they're at the end of their careers, क्योंकि उनको ना national award वगैरह चाहिए होता है. That was like what 2006, and
Yeah,
now
it's
look
a different world.
That's what I'm saying. So it's brave steps by brave women, female actresses who have come out and said, we are going to take this chance. We will be the only face on the poster, and you will watch it because it's good content.
Well, more success to you, Priyanka, and to the armpits.
Yo,
Why do you hit the word?
it's so invasive. It's private.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Such. Do you know Hindi mein bagal? That's even like
Hi.
grosser. That's somehow even grosser, no?
Hi.
For more videos like this, hit the button below, subscribe to Film Companion and get your film fix.